Hey, guys. Oh my goodness. So today is December 12th of 2023. And I don't usually think about this much, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I looked at the date and I remembered, first of all, it's one of my classmates from Howard. Albert Guillaume, it is his birthday. I think he's the one to really put this in my mind because today's his birthday. And also today is the day that the episode where he interviews me on his podcast, which is called the Lawyers Hip Hop Podcast, the Lawyers Hip Hop Happy Hour Podcast. So that episode drops today. And so I was like, oh, wow, I feel so special. That is so nice of you to release my episode on your birthday. But more importantly than all of that, what he brought to my remembrance is that December 12th is actually the day that I was sworn into the Maryland bar in 2006, which is just crazy to me that 17 whole years ago, I got sworn in. And so I have been a practicing attorney. Little old me, y'all, little old me. The first person in my family to graduate from college, went on to law school, graduated. I have had several successful businesses. I have helped probably at this point tens of thousands of clients in many different practice areas because my journey has just been very much like this. It was not like this, okay? Um, and I'm just sitting and thinking about that for a second, like I don't know if you know this, but less than 2% of the legal profession is made up of Black women, which is just crazy to like so crazy to me. And so here I sit 17 years later, and I have done so much. For my lawyers out there, I want to know, let me know in the comments. Are you doing what you thought you would be doing with your law degree? I'm just curious because I think back to me on that day, right? So when I went to law school, I went to law school with this plan of, oh, I'm going to be in the courtroom. I'm going to be a courtroom lawyer. I'm going to be, in my little power suit with my briefcase, and I'm going to be, da, 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 right? So I knew that I wanted to do that. And so my third year of law school, I did the criminal justice clinic. I actually started working at the public defender service for DC in my second year in law school and like fell in love with that. I wanted to be like, a crusader and drum major for justice. Okay. I was like fighting for the people. I was for the people and I was fighting for the people. So I wanted to be a criminal defense attorney and I wanted to be this courtroom lawyer. So my second year, I started working at PDS and I was like, yes, this is for me. So I did that. My third year, I did the criminal justice clinic. And that was so cool because I actually got to represent clients. So you're under the supervision of the attorney, your clinical advisor. Rest in peace to Tamar Meekins, who was the best trial attorney who trained us in the Howard University School of Law Criminal Justice Clinic. She was an amazing soul, and we miss her dearly. So I was actually representing people. I had to go to court. I had to go to the jail and like meet my clients and prepare for, go to the crime scene and all that stuff. I did all that stuff in law school. So I thought that I wanted to be this courtroom lawyer. And then after law school, I had like a couple of cases that were kind of filtering over after I had finished, after I had graduated, but I was still under the supervision of PDS because I was working at PDS and doing my own under the criminal justice clinic. And I had this one case and it was so awful. I was in the parole division and I had represented this client and he was out on parole. He had not done anything wrong. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Some police jumped out on him in Prince George's County and started chasing him. And of course, what happens when the police jump out on people? They run. So he was running. They shot him. He later ended up getting having a civil suit and winning a civil suit against them. It was a case of mistaken identity. But what happened was they charged him. And one of the terms of his parole was that he could not get any additional charges. So he had to go before the parole board, and I was the attorney that represented him, and I did the very best that I could. I made all the arguments. I had all the evidence to show this was a mistake. He should have never been arrested, blah, 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 all of that. And it didn't matter. So I had to leave that hearing. And these hearings happen in the jail because they're not in the courthouse. So his family was not there. So I had to leave that hearing and tell his family that he was being stepped back and he was going back to prison for 9 years. And that, when I tell you that just ripped my soul apart, and it just took every ounce of anything that I had left to continue to be a criminal defense attorney out, I was like, you know what? I am not cut out for this. So that's the first transition that I made. And at this time, I'm like probably studying for the bar. I haven't even taken the bar exam yet. So that was it. So I was like, okay, nope, I'm not, criminal is not it. So then I started doing family law, which was like, some people say it's the civil version of criminal because it's a lot of court time. You're in court a lot. It's litigation, but it's, the stakes, in my opinion, I mean, I guess one could argue that the stakes are just as high when you're talking about, your children. But it didn't appear at that time to have the same level of stress and pressure that I had when I was doing criminal. So started doing family law. And I was rocking and rolling in that for many years. I started my own practice right out of law school. That was not my plan, but that's how it happened. I ended up going to a firm a year later, and I stayed at that firm for, I want to say 8 years. I did very well there. I was promoted. I was in, firm management, a low level, not an equity partner. But I was exposed to a lot there, and I got to see like the inner workings of how the business side of practicing law, which was a great experience and definitely equipped me for this next season of my life. And so I think that this happens for everyone, right? Like you go into it, you have this plan, and then your plan just doesn't keep straight like this, right? Like, you learn things, your life changes. For us, our life had changed quite a bit as a family. As my daughter went through middle school was really tough for her, and she really wanted to be homeschooled. And there was just no way that, we could do that without, with me working as a litigator. It was just no way. And so that was a family decision that we made, was that I would leave the firm that I was at and I would start my own practice. And I would be, that was when I made the transition to being online and becoming this online um, lawyer for entrepreneurs. Now, mind you, I have no clue how to do any of that. I did not go to school for that. I had not done it before. I had been in a courtroom in a very traditional law firm role. I had no idea. I had never represented entrepreneurs. I had no idea about intellectual property or business law. Like I knew nothing. I knew nothing. I'll tell you what I did know. I did know branding. I didn't know how to market, and I knew how to sell, right? And so I could sell anything. You tell me what we need to sell, I'm gonna sell it, right? So it's like, okay, if I need to sell trademarks, if I need to sell setting up LLCs, if I need to sell copyrights, I'm gonna sell it. Now, once I sell it, I don't know how to do it, but we can figure that out later, right? So that was really my approach. So I started branding and marketing myself online as this business and intellectual property attorney. And I built this amazing practice. And I will say those first couple of years, it was part-time, but the money didn't feel that way, right? Like I was really, really good at it. It was part-time because I was homeschooling. So I would homeschool my daughter on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, she would go to group classes. And those are the days that I would meet clients or work in my firm. And so I did that for 3 years, her 10th, 11th, and 12th grade years of high school. And so that was another transition, right? Like, so many, like I look at my legal career and it has so many layers. It has so many twists and turns, bumps. Okay. Let me not forget that there were some bumps along the way too. And anybody that tells you that there aren't is not being honest with you, because it has been, like this most of the time, more highs than lows, I will say. So, but that year after I had made this transition, I was even featured in the Daily Record newspaper. I was featured in the Daily Record as reinventing myself as an online virtual lawyer. And so That got me a lot of publicity. And so then a lot of other attorneys began asking me, how do you do it? How do you do this? How do you use technology? What is branding? Like, what is marketing? What is this? What is that? Right. And so I created in 2016 the Beyond the Bar Institute, which is my marketing, sales and marketing consulting firm for lawyers. And I started helping lawyers with how to brand and how to do sales and how to market and how to use technology and how to leverage the internet to have a more fulfilling practice that is also makes us more money, right? Like I believe in why I am a lawyer is not, especially at this state, this big age that I am now. It's about so much more than just money, right? Because many lawyers make a lot of money, but not everyone that makes a lot of money is happy. Not everyone is fulfilled. And so for me, fulfillment, satisfaction, impact, purpose, all of that over the years became increasingly more important and more valuable to me than the actual money. So when you're able to take those things and marry them with make money, that's the sweet spot, right? Like you're just golden. You are living your life like it's golden at that point. Um, so I started doing that. And so then for many years, I've been running two businesses. I've been running my law firm and also doing coaching and consulting for lawyers. I also started coaching, because in coaching lawyers, then I would have my clients who were coming to me for business and IP legal work say, well, I hear that you're a coach. Do you only coach lawyers? And it's like, well, no, these are business principles, sales, marketing, that's the same regardless of what business you're in. And so I was doing that as well. And so I just have spent today just reflecting and thinking over the years and just how valuable that little Juris Doctor degree is in this life that I have managed to build. Oh, I forgot about this little thing. As if I didn't have enough student loan debt um, and sacrifice to become a lawyer, I actually went back to school in 2011. I enrolled in a master's program at American University and I got a master's degree in strategic communication. I graduated in 2013. And so that program, so that's been 10 years. Oh my God, 10 years ago, I graduated from American University. I tell you this all the time. That degree is my most valuable. That's the one that makes me the most money. The ability to effectively communicate who I am, who I serve, how I serve them, and convince people, or I shouldn't say convince, inspire people to take out their credit card, their wallet, their checkbook to pay me to solve their problems. That's invaluable, right? So, and I learned that at American. So I just love that this profession has allowed me to do things that I am really good at, things that I love. I love meeting new people. I love helping. I have so many lawyer clients who are doing things completely differently from what they thought about when they were going to law school. And I think that we have such an advantage, and that's such a great thing that we are able to write our own rules, right? Like you can, you get a degree in law, and there's so many different parts of the law, right? So I have done many different types of law. And if I wanted to say that, you know what, tomorrow I want to be a cannabis lawyer, guess what? I could go and do that. If I wanted to become an education lawyer, if I wanted to do bankruptcy, if I wanted to, whatever, like that's the thing. And so I love that for us. I absolutely love that for us. I love that my journey has changed and it's okay. And I'm moving into, even a new chapter. And I do think that, as you get older, your values change and what's important to you changes. As when I started off this legal journey and studying for the LSAT and applying to law school, I had two little children. When I started Howard University School of Law in 2003, my son was 7 months old and my daughter was 5 years old. And now my son will be 21 in January and my daughter is 25. So all of that life in between there, right? And so I always look at, like, they are such reminders to me of the journey because I always think of those pictures from graduation day and like I'm holding my son here and my kids right here. And now they are embarking on their own careers in their own lives, which is just amazing. So anyway, I just had this this feeling of like, going down this memory lane and thinking about these last 17 years. And I just couldn't be more proud of myself for, following my dreams, for giving myself permission to change directions, to let myself off the hook, to do what I want to do, to try something new, to be willing to fail at it and be willing to for it to not work out, but to take the learning lessons from it. So I say all that to say that I want to encourage you to do that for yourself, wherever you are, whether you're a lawyer or whether you're not a lawyer. I want you to just give yourself permission to live your very best life and be okay with not having it all figured out. There is no way when I stood in the Court of Appeals of Maryland in Annapolis on December 12th, 2006, that I could envision where I would sit today, 17 years later. There's no way I could have known that, and that's okay. I don't know where I will be in the next 17 years. And guess what? That's okay. I am just going to continue to put one foot in front of the other and do the very best that I can and bring the best that I have to give to all of my clients and to the world. Okay. So I just want to leave you with that. Have a good day.